Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Curls here, and I would like to do something a little bit different with this video. And that is, I'd like to read from you a little bit from this chapter book titled Wonder by R.J. Palacio, excuse me. Okay. And this book is reading level 4.8. It is a pretty thick chapter book, but I've already read it and it was so good. I've had it finished in just a couple of days. Before I start reading from the book, I'd like to read to you the description of the book, okay? Also, you can see here that it even says soon to be a major motion picture. So, this book has been read across the country now, across the world, and it's really changing the lives of people once they've read it. It's a really, really good book. So, let me tell you what it's about, okay? All right, I'm going to come down here and it says right here, I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. August Pullman was born with a facial difference that, up until now, has prevented him from going to a mainstream school. Starting fifth grade at Beecher Prep, he wants nothing more than to be treated as an ordinary kid. But his new classmates can't get past Augie's extraordinary face. Wonder, now a #1 New York Times bestseller and included on the Texas Bluebonnet Award master list, begins from Augie's point of view, but soon switches to include his classmates, his sister, her boyfriend, and others. These perspectives covered excuse me, converge in a portrait of one community's struggle with empathy, compassion, and acceptance. Okay? All right, so I'd have to say too, I would recommend this book to anyone third, fourth, fifth on up. As a matter of fact, I watched a video that talked about another school system where I believe students in third grade all the way through seniors in high school, 12th grade, were reading this book school wide. Okay. So if you didn't quite understand the description, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the book. Okay. On the cover of the book, you can see the face, but you can see it's missing all of the features of the face except for that one little eye there. That's because you have to use your imagination. This book is about a boy who's 10 years old, and his name is August Pullman, I believe. Let's see. Yes, And short, they like to call him Augie. And Augie was born with a facial deformity. Okay, so you have to leave it up to your imagination what he looks like. Okay, but this book is all about what he has had to go through having a face that's different from everyone else. Okay, so I'd like to read to you just the first few pages of the book, and I'm hoping that it might get you interested and you may want to find this book and finish reading it. Okay, so on to Wonder. All right, first page. And it's by R.J. Palacio. I'm going to skip through all of this first stuff, table of contents, until we get to part 1. And for part 1, it says August. So the story right now is beginning with August telling his story. So it's written from August, his point of view right now, okay? Ordinary. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish that I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. I would wish that I could walk down the street without people seeing me and then doing that look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is that no one else sees me that way. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now. I know how to pretend I don't see the faces people make. We've all gotten pretty good at that sort of thing. Me, Mom, and Dad, Via. Actually, I take that back. Via's not so good at it. She can get really annoyed when people do something rude. Like, for instance, one time in the playground, some other older kids made some noises. I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't hear them myself, but Via heard, and she just started yelling at the kids. That's the way she is. I'm not that way. Via doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does, but if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she needs to protect me as much. And Mom and Dad don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am is me. My name is August, by the way. I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. Next part, why I didn't go to school. Next week, I start 5th grade. Since I've never been to a real school before, I am pretty much totally and completely petrified. People think I haven't gone to school because of the way I look, but it's not that. It's because of all the surgeries I've had. 27 since I was born. The bigger ones happened before I was even 4 years old, so I don't remember those. But I've had 2 or 3 surgeries every year since then. Some big, some small. And because I'm little for my age, and I have some other medical mysteries that doctors never really figured out, I used to get sick a lot. That's why my parents decided it was better if I didn't go to school. I'm much stronger now, though. The last surgery I had was 8 months ago, and I probably won't have to have any more for another couple of years. Mom homeschools me. She used to be a children's book illustrator. She draws really great fairies and mermaids. Her boy stuff isn't so hot, though. She once tried to draw me a Darth Vader, but it ended up looking like some weird mushroom-shaped robot. I haven't seen her draw anything in a long time. I think she's too busy taking care of me and Via. I can't say I always wanted to go to school because that wouldn't be exactly true. What I wanted was to go to school, but only if I could be like every other kid going to school, have lots of friends and hang out after school and stuff like that. I have a few really good friends now. Christopher is my best friend, followed by Zachary and Alex. We've known each other since we were babies, and since they've always known me the way I am, they're used to me. When we were little, we used to have play dates all the time, but then Christopher moved to Bridgeport in Connecticut. That's more than an hour away from where I live in North River Heights, which is at the top tip of Manhattan. And Zachary and Alex started going to the school. It's funny, even though Christopher's the one who moved far away, I still see him more than I see Zachary and Alex. They have all these new friends now. If we bump into each other on the street, they're still nice to me, though. They always say hello. I have other friends, too, but not as good as Christopher and Zach and Alex were. For instance, Zach and Alex always invited me to their birthday parties when we were little, but Joel and Iman and Gabe never did. Emma invited me once, but I haven't seen her in a very long time. And of course, I always go to Christopher's birthday. Maybe I'm making too big a deal about birthday parties. Next, how I came to life. I like when Mom tells this story because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way a joke is funny, but when Mom tells it, Via and I just start cracking up. So, when I was in my mom's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking the way I look. Mom had had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park, Mom's expression, that there was no reason to run any special test. About 2 months before I was born, the doctors realized there was something wrong with my face, but they didn't think it was going to be bad. They told Mom and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it